What's going on, guys? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 28. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Hello, people. How are you doing?
Yeah, we hear you. Got Chris Seeley in the house.
I've got you dyed burned into my retinas. I can't unsee it.
Oh, no. We got Brett Murdoch here.
What's up, people?
And, of course, Brian Manjoma.
You don't learn anything from dying, apparently.
No, you don't. And you don't get anything from... You don't get anything from dying either. All right, guys, so we're here with another episode. We're going to answer your questions, so let's get right into it. Final Stage Boss, as always, kicks us off here. Do you think Nintendo will finally get feedback from developers on their newly announced hardware, or do you think they will continue to ignore input from developers? Hey, Chris, what do you think?
Well, this is a would and should thing. Should they? Yes. Will they? Probably not, because they're very protective about their IP and hardware stuff. Like, I doubt they're gonna let guys look at the early stuff and go, "Hey, what do you think? What should we do?" What should they do that? Yes, that's what they should have been doing. For the last 2 generations, but they didn't. This is why a lot of third-party guys are mad. Even developers came out and flat out said that they didn't do that. Will they? I hope so. I hope they do that. I hope they get input from everyone. I hope they get feedback. I hope they don't just make a closed box and hand it to guys again and go, "Here, we made this thing. Make games for it." Because it'll just be the Wii U all over again.
So you don't think they're going to get a Westerner with an ugly-ass shirt to help them out?
Shit. Well, I mean, besides that, they've kind of burned their bridges with the Wii U, so I hope that they kind of invite guys back into the fold and say, "Hey, guys, we're making this thing, and, will you give us feedback on it?" And then take the feedback, right, and use it to make the thing better.
I don't believe they think they have a problem, and that is the problem.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
I don't believe Nintendo think they just. I don't believe I don't think they believe that the reason why the Wii U is failing is their fault.
No, they think it's our fault for not understanding what they built. This is like literally what they say. They if you look at statements from Reggie said this himself, and I don't have the statements in front of me, but he has said that customers don't understand the things they're doing. So he's laying the blame squarely on the people who are not buying their stuff.
Yes, it's not our problem. It's not their problem. It's our problem. We made the Wii U fail. No, you made it fail. You didn't sell it to us.
Yeah, pretty much. That's ridiculous.
The day, and also, as we've learned in general, first impressions are the main, or pretty much close to what affects the perception of a console.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think Xbox is still not selling that well? Because the perception.
Look at what the Wii U was. That first initial impression was they show us a friggin' tablet, and there was pure confusion right there.
Well, their marketing was bad. The Wii U was terrible. It was so confusing. It was a mess.
I mean, the thing is that what really they are not. I don't think, just to answer the question, I don't think they're going to be talking to any developers about this because they are Nintendo. And they think they know what's out there.
Yeah, like you said though, they don't realize there's a problem because they think everything is just fine.
Yeah, they're just fine. It's everybody else's issue. It's not their problem. They didn't make they didn't make the mistake. We did.
But like I said, it's a would-should thing. They won't do that, but they should.
But they should, exactly. Anybody else have anything to say about this, Chris? You pretty much said it all. This the obvious answer. They're not going to fucking do it. They're not. All right. Moving on, probably my favorite question of the week. I hope you guys are ready for this with the actual numbers here. Who has the most platinum trophies of all you guys, and who has the least? Also, does more platinum trophies than all of you combined? Manny, how many do you have? Because I think you're the guy that has the second most here.
Shit, I don't know how many platinum trophies I have. I might have to look.
Yeah, it's like 20-ish, right? Okay.
All I know is I think I'm level 16 or 17. Okay.
I'll go with the Go ahead, Chris.
No, is there a quick way to check on the Vita? Because then I can look right now.
You can use your phone.
It's funny because I don't have my Vita on me right now.
Yeah, I got my Vita right here, so I just wanna.
Yeah, you can just go into the
go on the trophies.
Into the trophy list, and it should show there.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing about this question, because he wants to know if all of ours combined right up to Riku-san's. No, because all of the guys here combined don't reach up to mine.
No.
Because I have 55, and as I always say, if it wasn't for this gaming journalism stuff, I would have way more platinums. I just have to put games aside, because I had like 48 before I started SDFU and Play, and I got 7 more since then in the last 3 years. So it slows shit down. Before that, I had a lot of platinums. But so yeah, since everybody can't, combine to meet mines, nobody meets Riku's. Like you have to like multiply it by like 3 times or something to reach up to Riku. Maybe
yeah,
more.
he's really high up there.
He has 129, I believe. So yeah.
Oh my God.
By the way, Riku-san, this motherfucker, he could have beaten Bloodborne any day he wanted to. He's been at the final boss for a few days now, but he's toying. He's like, let me go grind and do some other shit. That's insane.
But the thing is that he still has to beat the game, but he still needs to get the platinum. Get the platinum.
Yeah.
Jeez, what the?
Yeah, he got up there pretty fast. I know guys who are still struggling, and Riku's like, yeah, I could have beaten them like a week ago if I wanted to. Like,
Our
damn, dude.
Chris, and Tony's friend Jen, her boyfriend keeps bugging me if I'm going to be playing or not. Fucking annoying.
Dan.
Yeah, he keeps like, oh hey, are you gonna play? I'm like, dude, I got so much work to do right now. I mean, I'm gonna play, but
he's just like, I got that kind of time.
Yeah, he literally goes and tells me, oh hey, okay, this is where you get the bells, right? So that you can, so you get this thing so you can use the bells in the game. I'm like, all right, and then I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna get on though. So.
Yeah, but you first need to beat the first boss to do that, though. Apparently.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you don't actually need to beat that boss.
Oh,
there is other. Boss? Yeah, because all the bosses, the way the game works is that all the bosses are, you can go if you get to one other boss, you can beat that boss before the closest boss. In fact, I think Brett said that he beat some other boss beforehand, before that werewolf, that super werewolf.
Brett, is that true? I don't know if Brett can hear us. He's having some issues too. He'll get in here when he gets in here, I guess. I can't see how many platinum trophies I have. Okay, no, it's no issue.
Really matter.
We answered it. Brett, did you beat a different boss before you beat that werewolf?
No, that wasn't me, but I know of other people who have accidentally come across the second boss first.
So who was? You know what? It might have been Nash. He said he beat this other king dude before he beat that werewolf guy.
Interesting. All right, let's go on to the next question. This one I need some verification for because Anyway, okay. Microsoft's original plan, along with the DRM on everything, was to require the used game sales by allowing people to buy and sell used digital copies of games on the Xbox One. My question is, how the hell can you buy and sell a digital copy of a game? That makes no sense. When you are in the MS Marketplace, how can you tell which digital copy is new and which is used? My question is this true? Did Microsoft try to sell digital games, like used games? Is that any truth to that?
I have no idea about that.
I don't remember that at all.
This is the first time I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, same here. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
It doesn't sound like anything I've heard before.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I think it was Wizard. He was like, hey, do you have anything to back that up? So I can't answer because I don't know anything about that.
I've never heard anything.
Yeah, like they basically just try to the whole DRM thing was to prevent you from selling your games, but selling your digital games, I never heard of that. So we can't.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that I remember them talking about was the whole feature of sharing in between your house.
Yeah.
Sharing between your house or sharing with other players. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't hear about all that other stuff. All right, let's move on to Michael.
No,
go ahead.
But even if that was the case, it's still possible to sell digital games. All you need to do is transfer the license over, and if you wanted to tell the difference between like a used game and a non-used game, it's basically like a simple system of knowing which accounts are admin accounts, aka Xbox, and which ones are non-admin accounts, aka normal users, and then saying, okay, this game is being sold by a non-admin account, so therefore it's a used game, or this game is being sold by an admin account, therefore it is a used game.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple to differentiate the two, but I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. I mean, this is another question about this whole like digital use thing. How many times can you sell off a game? Like, let's say, okay, that's like, all right, you sell it off to some other guy, and then they sell off to. It's interesting. I don't know.
Potentially, you could sell it to an infinite amount of times because it's digital.
But then,
there's no physical.
Would there be some sort of discount, or could you sell it back for the same? Are you going to sell it back for the amount that you paid for it?
Well,
I mean, I know GameStop doesn't do that, but
I'm assuming that they'd buy it at a discount and sell it at a discount because there's no point selling it at the same price because people will just buy it used. Oh no, sorry, new. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I did actually find my platinum trophy list. I have about 21, and I'm level 17.
Nice.
I think I have like 9 or 10. I think like 8 or something like that. I know that I was planning to get into the double digits eventually, but eventually.
Yeah, you went full on PC Master Race.
Well, it's like I currently have the first Uncharted where I'm doing like the trophy run. I'm at the moment. I'm just collecting the damn collectibles.
Yeah.
And doing the hard mode at the same time, and also doing a run on Dragon's Dogma. I think that those two were the two games that were going to push me into double digits. So when I get around to that, then I'll be there eventually. I just don't care.
Okay, so this is old. Okay, I'm looking at the source, like, from Kotaku. Xbox One games will require a one-time activation code to use, but you'll still be able to trade and sell them online, Microsoft tells Kotaku, although we're not 100% clear on the weren't either. But this is old. Who cares?
I imagine what they've done is they would have had a buyback price. Like if you buy a game for $30, you can sell it back to them for $15. You're not actually selling somebody else a copy of your game. You're just using it. You're turning in a game that they take away from you into Microsoft points, and then you can put that towards another purchase, which will help drive sales on their digital marketplace.
I don't know. Very interesting, but
it's essentially them trying to cut out GameStop.
Oh yeah, that's what the whole thing was about. But that's a moot point now, isn't it? Anyways, move on here. Mike Madden. Bloodborne is getting amazing reviews, and I plan on picking it up this weekend. Although I don't have high expectations for it because I don't like Demon Souls much. What highly rated games do you not like, and which low rated game do you like? We had a similar question, so we could run through this pretty fast. With me, highly rated game, Fallout 3. I didn't like that very much. And low rated game that I liked, even though I had problems with it too, was Brutal Legend. So that's mine. Manny, what about you?
Like high rated games that I didn't like?
Yeah, like a highly praised game or whatever.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Was that highly rated?
Yeah, it was.
That was highly rated.
Yeah.
It got pretty high ratings. It wasn't immediate.
Brian, you didn't know that because you heard me yelling over those people, but yeah, it actually got decent reviews.
It got decent reviews. A low-rated game. Shit.
Yeah, you're picky like me, you know.
Yeah, like I'm fairly picky, but there's some. You know what? Murdered Soul Suspect.
There you go. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right, Chris, what about you?
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think. I don't really know. I know games I don't like, but they got rated pretty low. I'm usually with the curve there, so.
Yeah.
Come back to me. I gotta give you some thoughts.
Brian, what about you? I know you got some.
Highly rated. I'd say Skyrim. I just did not enjoy that game that much. I thought it was good, but again, I just didn't enjoy it. Like I'm a man who likes his combat system, and the combat system in Skyrim is quite shit. There's no getting around that. It's quite shit.
Dude, it's Bethesda. Yeah, I don't blame you for that one.
And low rated. It wasn't that low rated. It was like average, but take your pick between Lost Planet 2 and Dragon's Dogma. Like they pretty much got like roughly the same rating.
About the crew, that's another one.
The crew was decently rated. Like
was it? I thought it was like 60s or something.
No, Metacritic is sitting at 70s. It's actually higher rated than The Order.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Okay, so Dragon's Dogma and Lost Planet 2.
Yeah,
All right.
take your pick.
All right, Brett. What about you, man?
Highly rated game that I didn't like. I'd definitely say LA Noire. That game did not click with me at all. And I thought Dragon's Dogma had pretty high reviews, but I didn't. I did for even the reviews that it's got. I was like, I completely don't understand this game. I'm gonna go play something else. And that's more on like I just don't get it. Then it's not a good game because I can see bits of it. Where like I can see why people would like this, but I'm not those people.
And what about a game you liked that was low rated?
That's the one I'm having trouble with. Generally, a lot of times when I like games, I tend to like them because they have good mechanics or not in spite of their flaws. So I'd say a lot of like AAA titles like Gears of War.
Gears of War is highly rated though.
Yeah, and I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Okay, so I mean, you don't have a game that like you love but is like low rated, right?
Most of the games that I love may not necessarily be recognized, but they never get low ratings.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. The only one I could think of was Brutal Legend. Outside of that, I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
all the games I like are decently rated.
Yeah, Brutal Legend was a low one. That's also one I really liked.
Yeah, but I liked it more because of the story and music, not really because of the actual game itself. The actual game itself was like wait, I thought this was gonna be like a silly hack and slash game, and it turned out to be like a weird
RTS
game. I'm like, I don't want to play a RTS game. Come on, what is this?
It's a bit of a bait and switch. A lot of people felt like it was a bait and switch on that one.
But I still like the game because I just love the world they created. It was like a living metal album cover, so that was cool. Chris, you come up with any answers?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Highly rated game that I didn't like, Little Big Planet. I didn't like that game.
Yes.
Yeah, Rachel here, she agrees with you.
You know that well.
Yes.
Low rated game I did like, Splatterhouse.
Oh.
I enjoyed the fuck out of that game, and it was not well reviewed, but I loved that game when I was a kid, and I played the other one, and it didn't disappoint. It's a shitty beat 'em up that has tons of gore in it. Like, what else do you want?
Awesome. All right. So
no, you need to get into the brain of the Splatterhouse.
Yes.
Oh, please.
And his feelings.
I don't want the Dave Jaffe answer to why Splatterhouse is like still whatever, man. It's just so satisfying. That's it.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to my man Roman Ronin. I want to give him a quick shout out because he was like, "Oh, guys, thanks for answering my questions every week." Yeah, man, that's what we're here to do. And he really liked our responses to his question about games that tackle controversial issues. He liked the way
that was a damn good question, dude.
That was a great fucking question.
Take the credit where it's due. It was a damn good question. Keep them coming.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go to this one. Okay, hearing you guys talking about the censorship that some anime go through when being ported over makes me wonder, do you remember the first time you were watching anime and you automatically thought a scene had been censored? Ooh, it's a good one.
You know what it is? You know what I say it was? Fist of the North Star.
Oh, really?
As gory as that film is, a lot of the gore isn't actually the color that it's supposed to be. A lot of times they have this weird echo effect on everything.
You think it was a stylistic thing, though?
It could have been a stylistic thing, but it felt like it was also also censored in some way. Like in other words, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, but I think
he asked if you felt that it was edited. Yes, that one it felt like it was edited, but it wasn't edited at all.
Yeah, that's just
at least from what I could see.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, early stuff on TV was heavily censored. Dragon Ball Z was like one of the worst offenders. It's like, I mean, they couldn't even say they were killing someone. It's like, I'm going to send him to another dimension. He killed him. Come on, let's be real. Death is a thing. We don't even know what it is.
Plus, as soon as you realized that there was swearing in the Japanese version, you saw blatantly all the places that they cut it out. Instead, they just go.
I think also what happens is they kind of embellish that stuff too. When you see those fan dubs and I'm not fan dubs, so fan subs, they add more curses and stuff to that than they really had.
Yeah, and when they get really beat up, they look dirty in the old one. They were bleeding. They were bleeding all over, but they would just be dirty. They would just edit out all the blood. They would just make them look dirty.
The funny thing is that for the Dragon Ball Z stuff, I mean, I already at the time, it's like you kind of knew that it was going to be edited for TV, because like at the time I had already seen a bunch of the we had already seen a bunch of the Japanese episodes.
Yeah, you already knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, like we literally already watched the show in Japanese like 20 times over before it actually came on
Exactly.
actual TV. So
the first time I think I remember seeing it was the American version of Street Fighter, the movie. Remember? Like,
oh
I was
yeah.
like, what happened to the Chun-Li scene? What's going on here?
And there was like two different versions of that movie. Like there was an uncut version and there was a cut version.
Yeah, and then there was also all those anime movies that you used to show on Sci-Fi Channel at night. I'm like, wait, you're cutting shit out. Like even
Like
if I've never seen the movie, like I'm like, whoa. But
yeah,
Vampire Hunter D,
Vampire Hunter D was that they had a bunch of stuff cut out of it. But then again, why would they show that on TV anyway?
But the question was like, when did you first notice this? So I think the first time I noticed it was definitely Street Fighter, and then obviously after that on Sci-Fi. But I knew it was coming with Street Fighter. I'm like, wait. What the hell? What's going on?
The thing is that you don't expect an edit to happen on something that you directly buy.
Yes, exactly. Because this wasn't at home. It was like from a video. I'm like, oh shit, the Street Fighter movie's finally out in a dub. Oh, by the way, the horrible dub. Do not watch the dub. Watch the Japanese one. That was terrible.
Horrible.
Dude, Manny, and I know you can read me till this day. If Streamline Pictures had gotten their hands on that movie, we would have gotten a different story. We would have gotten it. We would have got the real thing, not fucking, was it Madman? No, manga. It was like they fucked that up.
Yeah, they just had such, and then they threw all this horrible like music in there. I remember the biggest thing that when we saw that thing originally in Japanese, we were like, oh my god, this music's so cool. Like it was like it fitted. There was a really nice orchestral stuff, and then all of a sudden it just switches to this weird synthesized shit, and then they're fucking playing Alice in Chains. I love Alice in Chains, but that wasn't in the movie.
Thank you. I was just about to say I love Alice in Chains. Like, yeah, I like the song, but no. And then they made the music more like stereotypically American, where it's like so action packed. What I like, you going back to what you said, what I love about that movie, and that was the first experience I had with that. I'm like, they're playing really dramatic music over some really heavy shit. Like, I love that whole balance of it.
It changes the dynamic because they had that one theme that the Japanese lady sings throughout it.
Yeah.
And it's something that comes through the whole movie. That same theme.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, it worked. But the thing is that after they did that, it lost all of its dramatic weight.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. Anyway, actually, I don't know if that said anything, but that counts. What about you, Brian? What's the first time you remember noticing that?
It'd have to be with the One Piece anime. Yeah. I can't remember his name, but it was like very early on, where it's when Luffy first gets. What's the chef's name? The blonde hair.
Oh, Sanji.
Yeah, when he first goes to him, and I think that he's tied up or something, or some of that, and then in the uncut version, he's holding a gun to Sanji's head.
No, I know it's not not Sanji. That was Ronin or Zoro. Like he was tied up to a post. He holds a gun, and it's like a bubble gun or something. It's like what?
Yeah, it's like the first time I was like, huh, okay. This looks a bit weird. It's like non-threatening compared to the context, and then I seen the uncut one, and I was like, oh, it's an actual gun. Like, okay. So then, what else has been changed throughout all these animes that I've watched?
Yeah, going back to Sanji though, because he always smokes. They put a lollipop on him. It's like, wait.
That as well.
It's ridiculous. Like, why would he have the sweet part outside? It makes no sense.
Well, no, they actually did. What they would do is it wasn't the sweet part was outside. Whenever he pulled it out of his mouth, it would look like it was a lollipop.
But yeah, yeah, man. I remember One Piece when it was originally on 4Kids. I knew for a fact it was heavily censored. I'm like, nope, I'm not watching this shit. Like you could just tell from the promos, all the digital stuff they did to it, Very bad. Brett left us because he had to restart because he's having issues, as you could tell from the quality of his voice. So he'll be back. Okay, not a question, but I completely agree with Manny. So glad Eris died. Tifa was cooler. I didn't feel any sorrow when she died because she was so boring.
Yes, come on. Tifa was so cool. She's the hometown girl. She was also she didn't have any fucking baggage. In fact, whenever
she did have baggage though with the big ass titties.
No, but I mean she didn't have any emotional baggage. She wasn't like Eris, who was all like. She was like, "Come on, Cloud, let's get up and do this." You know, she was really like, upbeat and everything. It's like that. And then you have Eris who's like, "I'm a flower girl. You know you gotta love me. Like, save me." It was like,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's my version of Eris.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I didn't read that at all. I was just sad because I lost a member of my party. You get a
I
chance
hated
to hold
her.
him. Damn.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like, somebody else learned the healing magic. Look, I gave it to you, Red 13, or I gave it to you, other dude.
You're like, hey, Vincent, here, you're the healer now.
Yeah, Vincent.
You vampire jerk here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I see Mark in the background.
Oh, yeah, there's Mark.
Hey,
Say
Mark,
hi to
say
people.
wave to the people. He said, fuck you, I'm eating.
Yeah. He's watching Knight Rider.
Oh, that's great. I'm Eris. I'm the flower girl. You have to love me. Oh, Manny, you're great.
Yeah, come on, dude. I never really liked the character of Eris.
All right, Brett just sent me a message. He'll like, I'll coming right back. Cool. Let's move on to the last question about my man. Persona 4 and Deus really got me looking into the works of designer Shinganori Shoemoja. I fucked that up completely. Soejima. Name a video game artist designer you like. Manny, I'm gonna go with you because you're probably gonna take my answer.
Were you gonna say her? You gonna say Hideo Kojima?
No, artist.
Yeah, you mean Yuji Shinkawa?
Yes.
I would also say the creator of the guy who does all the Kingdom Hearts artwork. I can't remember what his name is.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's been the hot Squaresoft guy since Final Fantasy VII. That guy. He's also really good too.
Also, speaking about Square, I want to give a shout out to my man that does the character designs. Final Fantasy 12, Vagrant Story.
Oh yeah, he's also really good too.
He's great. Aki Man, remember him from back in the day?
Yep. Aki Man, Bangus from the Capcom guys.
Yeah. So those are some of mine. Chris, what about you?
Tetsuya Nomura, that's his name.
Yeah, Nomura, Tetsuya Nomura. And I'm forgetting the guy's name who does Final Fantasy, but the other Final Fantasy guy. But
I like.
No, the guy who did Vagrant Story.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name.
I like what's his name? Takahito Harada. He did Disgaea. I like his art.
Oh, nice.
I forgot what's his name? Yuji Himukai. He did the Etrian Odyssey designs. I like his art. Yoji Shinkawa is great. I don't know who specifically does the Zelda art, but I like that. I forgot his name.
Manny, I know you don't like the main Final Fantasy guy, the guy who did Vampire Hunter D. I know you don't like him very much.
Yeah, I don't like Imano.
Yeah, Imano.
His frilly art.
Yeah, his frilly art. But the funny thing is they always hire him back to do the logos.
Yeah.
He's always that image in the background behind the logos.
Awesome. Brett, I think you're back.
Funny, we're not mentioning any Western people.
Well, I don't know any Westerners that do good art design in video games.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but the thing is, it's one of those situations where you don't actually see their names on the forefront.
It's like I couldn't tell you who designed Master Chief. I couldn't tell you who designed Commander Shepard. I couldn't tell you who designed Warcraft. Like I don't.
The only one I can think of is the guy who did the cover for Ninja Theory games. Like he did Devil May Cry, he did Enslaved. That guy's really good. He does really good concept art and stuff. I don't know his name though. Man, you know what I'm talking about. You're the one that told me like, yo, this guy's good.
Yeah, that guy's really good. Yeah, you could. Mark just sent something to me. He just said you could also say Joe Mad.
Yeah, that's technically
that's true. Yeah, that's
technically true.
Okay, throw Joe Mad in there. Darksiders.
Brett, any video game artists that you really like? I think we named them all.
I just really enjoy Jet Grind Radio's weird art style.
That's also awesome.
Yeah.
So other than that, no. I think you got the rest of them.
Awesome. Oh yeah, Brett, since you're back, what was the first anime that you saw that you noticed like, holy shit, this is censored?
Bubblegum Crisis or
Ooh.
Dragon Ball Z.
Where did you see the Bubblegum Crisis? Was it just like on regular TV or something?
Honestly, like I led a blessed childhood in that I discovered very early on that right as my Saturday morning cartoons were ending, which was about 10:30 after X-Men, at 11 a.m., Sci-Fi Network started showing anime.
Yes.
So I could extend my Saturday morning cartoon party well into the afternoon, and that's where I actually got my first taste of anime from.
Nice. Yeah, that was a big one for me too, man. Because back in those days, unless you bought the anime off the Koreans, you weren't really gonna see it on TV. That was probably my first exposure.
I tell you, we used to one place I used to always go to. There was this place on Times Square. They used to sell video games and like bootleg anime stuff, and that's where I used to buy any of the Dragon Ball Z episodes I got, any like series like that. That's where it all kind of came from.
That's right, man. Fucking awesome.
They're all gone, by the way.
Yeah, of course. All right. No need for those guys anymore. We got the internet now.
The internet.
All right, let's move on. Captain X-Ray from YouTube. Manny, thank you for letting me know about this.
Yeah, Captain X-Ray just showed up today, and I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, and I know why he caught your attention. Look at this question. Yo, Tony and Emilio, what are your thoughts on the future of the Metal Gear franchise with Kojima leaving Konami? Will he still have any future, any say, influence over future MBS games? I'm still in shock. Keep up the awesomeness, guys. We already talked about this on the Metal Gear No More episode.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna come back in any capacity. I think he's like, you know what? Fuck these guys. I'm done.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon. I think he's just going to move on to whatever he's going to do next.
Yeah.
His own thing. I think he's probably tired of butting heads with Konami.
Yeah, and then about the future of MBS, again, I'm very skeptical about it because every time Kojima made when Metal Gear games that don't have Kojima in it are not very good.
There is only one. If all you Metal Gear fans out there, there's only one Metal Gear game that you should play that is outside.
Hey, Mark, now he's waving.
There's only one Metal Gear game that you should play outside of what is it?
The Kojima ones.
That are outside of the Kojima ones, and that is Metal Gear Ghost Battle for the Game Boy Color. That is probably the best Metal Gear game that is not made by Kojima.
Nice.
He even gives it the thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Like I said, we already went into full detail about that in episode 26, so check that out. I also had the boys from Spawn on me on, so you definitely got to check that episode out. All right, moving on to Phantom Vash. This is going to be a fun one. Who is your favorite movie director and least favorite director? I'm going to go first. Favorite director, simply because he made Terminator 2, is James Cameron. Holy shit. That movie's still my favorite of all time. And Aliens, of course. The shit. And
I was about to say then, Tony, like, how can you forget Alien?
No, man. Aliens and Terminator 2, that's enough. But I've never seen a bad James Cameron movie. Like
Avatar?
No, Avatar was a good movie. What are you talking about? It was corny, but it was good, I like The Abyss. I like True Lies. I like Titanic. I like the first Terminator. I like all his movies. I don't dislike any of them. So, yeah, James Cameron for me, because that guy's fucking great. Least favorite, I'm going first, M. Night Shyamalan. One of the worst directors out there. He can't direct a person for shit. He writes horrible
first
stories.
Because you knew that's what we would all say.
Exactly. I took dibs. Fuck that. Fuck M. Night Shyamalan. So that's it. That's my 2 cents.
Mine has got to be my main. I actually have to say Stanley Kubrick.
Really
That's
interesting.
probably one of my favorites. I say that based on his visual storytelling. He's really good at telling stories. Though it might be a little bit weird, but it's interesting. Interesting visuals. Worst? Shit. I don't know, man. It's a hard one. I could say I could say Michael Bay.
Oh yeah, he's the other one. That's the obvious one. That guy's terrible.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing. Visually, I think he composes really interesting shots. But, like, storytelling-wise, he's horrible. Like you can't say like some of those really slow motion undershots. Those things are pretty cool because they kind of capture that awe moment, you know. But yeah, he's not very good.
And he has like a kind of cool film grain kind of thing going on in his movies too. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You know, like he makes very pretty shots. He's just not a good director.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna go with just pretty directors, I'll go with George Lucas, obviously, because it looks great. It's just he's a horrible director, you know. But M. Night, who man? All right. Anyway, Chris, what about you?
All right, my favorite director, I have to say, is John McTiernan.
Yes.
Die Hard, Predator.
I like that.
The Hunt for Red October, Die Hard with a Vengeance. I talk about low-rated movies that I love. Last Action Hero. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I still love that movie. The 13th Warrior. Guy's awesome. Worst? There's so many. So Manny said Michael Bay. I'll have to say Joel Schumacher because he ruined.
Yes, thank you. Horrible director.
Yeah, horrible. Just terrible.
Here's
I walked out of the theater of Batman and Robin. That's why I say that. I walked out. I got up and left.
I'm gonna say this to people. Why would you get the guy who directed The Wiz to direct Batman?
Exactly.
Just putting that out there.
Oh God.
That's
The Wiz
bad.
is not a bad movie, but Wiz is not Batman.
Oh man. By the way, can I give a quick shout out to Tony Scott, Ridley Scott's brother? Man, he made a lot of cool action movies, man.
You mean Top Gun?
Yeah, he did. He did Top Gun. He did Days of Thunder. You know, he did True Romance, not an action movie, but a great fucking movie that was written by Quentin Tarantino. Great guy, man. I just want to give him a quick shout out. Anyway, Brian, what about you?
I don't know. The honest answer is Spielberg. Yeah, that's Jurassic Park, like one of my all-time favorite films. And like I went to watch it like 2 or 3 years ago, and that film still holds up, even though it's as old as I am. And that's
Which
saying
one,
something.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Oh my God, the graphics look better than the trailer for Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That's how well that movie stands up.
Steven Spielberg, man, like definitely to me the early stuff, the stuff he did in the 80s is fucking incredible. It's some of the other stuff I'm not too keen on, but yeah, as far as the 80s goes, he's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, man.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You know,
Fantastic movie.
it's funny because a lot of his style is kind of like it kind of comes from older films, like back when those guys, you know, Méliès and those guys, you know, Lucas and stuff. They all wanted to make movies that were not being made in the 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so his work is very much informed by a lot of older things, which is really interesting.
Yeah. By the way, I do have to say this about Spielberg. Even though I don't like some of his later movies, I don't think he's ever directed a horrible movie. Or he has the sequel to Jurassic Park 2. Never mind, that was horrible. The Lost World was shit. I take that back. Horrible
And then
movie.
Jurassic Park 3 came out.
I never
Yeah.
I never liked the film Hook. So I mean, there's a lot of fans of that movie. I don't think.
You know
Hook
what,
is a very
Manny?
good film.
I didn't like Hook either. You're
Yeah,
right.
you know what? I was talking to Krista about Hook, and I said I don't like that movie. She loves that movie. I was like, I don't like
I'll
it.
stick with 80s Spielberg, even though he did some cool stuff like Minority Report and stuff.
No, let's not forget Jaws, man.
Jaws was the shit.
Jaws.
Yeah.
That was the 70s. Yeah, that was great.
I mean, here's something. While we were talking about Steven Spielberg, I was I've talked about this before, but I kind of binge watched a bunch of Columbo episodes that are on Netflix because I used to watch it a long time ago, and I was and Mark was like, was like, hey, he's been watching it, so I've been watching it too. So the fun fact about the first Columbo episode is that it's directed by Steven Spielberg,
That's funny.
and he's responsible for the Columbo show, why it got picked up.
Okay.
Interesting.
But it's really well directed. It's actually probably one of the better directed episodes.
All right, Brian, what about least favorite?
Well, you guys took the obvious ones off Michael Bay and Shyamalan because they just ruined a bunch of movies.
Ugh.
Even though I still like the first Transformer movie, a little bit. I still enjoy it, Tony. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's not a good movie, but I enjoyed it.
Well, you can have a guilty pleasure. Like I just said, Last Action Hero, which is probably one of the biggest bombs of all.
I shake every single time I hear that because Chris is like ultimate action guy. That's like that's like liking. It's just probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you know,
but
he
Tony
likes
just
it.
really
That's
hates
fine.
Transformers. He really hates it.
Ugh,
Oh yeah, I can't stand Transformers.
Yeah.
They just keep getting worse too.
trash.
I'd have to go with George Lucas. Like he single-handedly managed to ruin Star Wars, which is quite a feat considering how bad it was getting at that point. But he somehow managed to just take it and make it worse.
Think about it. He ruined what he created.
I think the biggest problem with George Lucas and Star Wars is really that he wasn't the same guy who created it.
And he didn't have anybody to tell him no.
Yeah, that was the other thing. He didn't have somebody saying, no, you can't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Brett, get in here.
In terms of directors I like, old school, I would have to go with Stephen Norrington because I loved Aliens and Blade.
Wait, Stephen Norrington?
Yeah.
No, it's James Cameron, dude.
It's Cameron. What the hell are you talking about?
Apparently, I don't know.
Brett, I don't know who Steve Norrington is.
Yeah, James Cameron.
Oh, no, he was the one that did the special effects. My bad.
Yeah, I just talked about how James Cameron directed Aliens.
Yeah, I thought so too, and I was going to say something, and I Googled it, and I was like, I'm not going to call Tony out.
Yeah, it's James Cameron.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. New school, I like J.J. Abrams, although I kind of hate to admit that.
All right.
J.J. Abrams is not a bad director.
He's a young director, and as soon as he settles out with some of the, it kind of goes back to my discussion the other day about having energy versus sophistication, and he's kind of growing into his sophistication, and I look forward to seeing where he's going from here. And he's taken some stuff and made some stuff that was otherwise not that great really entertaining. So I look forward to seeing what he does in the future.
Okay.
As opposed to like Joss Whedon, who fails 9 times and succeeds once, and everybody wants to give him a fucking Oscar.
Hey man, Avengers was the shit.
Avengers was the shit. Name something other than Firefly that he did that was amazing.
Didn't people like Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
People did.
Yeah, see. And Firefly, yeah, obviously.
And Avengers.
And Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
There's
where's
like a
that
10-year
coming
gap
from?
in there. You guys realize that, right?
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything important during those 10 years.
He was just making money off Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, he wrote Alien Resurrection, which is terrible.
Wow.
He didn't fully write it. He was asked to kind of to fix it up, which really didn't work.
Yeah, he didn't do that. Anyway, Brett, what about a least favorite director?
Here's the thing. How do you shine a turd? That's the question.
It's still a shit.
Still a piece of shit.
Oh my god! And it had too much input from Sigourney Weaver.
Why? It's like just act.
Yes.
Well,
Anyway.
since you guys already took George Lucas and M. Night Shyamalan, 2 directors who can take great source material and fucking drive it in the ground, I'm going to have to go for the low-hanging fruit and say Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, but the thing is, Tommy Wiseau borders on so horrible, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Like-
no, I know. But just technically speaking, he is the worst director I have ever seen. It's an amazing train wreck. If you haven't watched The Room, everybody absolutely should. And
By
then
the
force
way-
your friends to sit through it.
Yeah. By the way, we didn't mention the obvious one, and this
Yeah.
is a video show, right? Uwe Boll.
Yeah, he's so bad that it's like he just went unmentioned.
Yeah.
All I gotta say about Uwe Boll is that he is a master of funding his films.
He is somehow. I don't know how he gets money for his shit. Like,
It's something to do with government subsidized, funded by the government.
oh,
It's like-
that's why.
It's like some system in there to boost the economy, so they give you money for your projects. Or it's something like that. Yeah, it's something to do with the government and not actual people funding him.
Okay, that's why. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
if we was an American, no one would fund this shit.
No.
Fucking
I mean,
ridiculous.
there's other guys I could have mentioned, but didn't. I was thinking Tyler Perry, but
Oh
I
yeah,
just didn't
Manny's
have-
favorite right there.
Tyler Perry.
How does that guy make it? He's again another master of funding his films.
And he's
How
American.
the fuck does Tyler Perry fund his films?
Maybe it's one of those
From
things.
the ignorance of people, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I mean, Paul W.S. Anderson, he's terrible.
yeah, he's bad.
Those Resident Evil movies, oh.
I just find it funny. I remember that we were going back to J.J. Abrams, the first Star Trek movie. We were watching it. Tyler Perry shows up. Man, he's like, "What the fuck?" Is he
I
doing
said
in
the
this?"
same thing.
I was
Why
what the fuck is Tyler Perry doing in my Star Trek film? And I found out.
No, I think you said, what is Medea doing?
Yeah, what's Medea doing in my Star Trek film? You want to know how Medea? Want to know the fun part of that? It's
Medea
that
goes to space.
you want to hear the hilarious thing? Well, not the hilarious thing. But why he's in it is because J.J. Abrams was using his fucking studio. Apparently, Tyler Perry has this incredibly huge
in Georgia,
studio
right?
in Georgia.
Yeah, he has a huge studio.
That is the whole reason why he is there. That is
That's
what.
great. Medea in space. I'll call this whole episode that. That's
Medea
great.
goes to space.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That is hilarious. So the reason why I can't remember what sets they put there, but they put a bunch of sets in his really huge studios.
He's like, yo, man, I gotta be in your movie.
And it's like, hey, Tyler, you want to be in this? We'll make you the counsel.
Oh man. All right, let's move on. What is your favorite drink? They're very open-ended. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic. I need to think about this one. I mean, non-alcoholic and not water, because water is probably my favorite drink. Pepsi, I guess. Pepsi's the shit. Alcoholic. Jack Daniels. Yeah. Specifically those
Just
and
Just
those
straight
two-
whiskey?
Oh hell yeah! But if you're gonna combine them, combine Jack Daniels with Pepsi, and you get gold.
For me, it's Dr. Pepper, and that's for non-alcoholic. Alcoholic, I will drink sake.
Nice.
There's a reason behind that. It is the only liquor that does not give me horrible stomach aches, because everything else I drink, I get really bad stomach aches from.
Yo,
Everything.
man, that's because it's clean.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. What about you, man?
Well, I'll join you with Pepsi in the non-alcoholic. 'Cause I love
Hell yeah.
Pepsi. Alcoholic, I'd say Absolute Vodka.
Oh my man.
I love vodka, so yeah. And that's my favorite brand.
Awesome. All right, Brian. What about you?
For non-alcoholic, I'd say hot chocolate, and that's hot chocolate with milk and not water. If you make hot chocolate with water, I will find you and I will kill you. 'Cause
You
that's a
fail.
travesty.
Okay, I need to say this.
No,
And-
wait. I'll find you and I'll pour the hot chocolate on your head and then walk away. And that's all I'll do. I won't say a word. I'll just walk in, just pour it on your head and walk out. And then
Okay.
you'll know.
I'm a guy who detests milk. I hate milk. Even I will slap you if you don't drink hot chocolate with milk. Like, what are you doing with water? That's nasty.
That's
All right.
because they put powdered milk in the instant hot chocolate.
No,
It's not enough.
that's wrong. It's against nature.
It
All right,
is.
Brian. What about alcoholic drink?
Alcoholic, I don't drink that much alcohol in general, but
Get the fuck out of here.
no, really, I don't. Like, compared to most people, I drink nothing.
We compared to normal people or British people. Okay, let's keep it straight here. You
I guess-
motherfuckers drink.
I guess my normal people is British people, so yeah. Like I'll barely have 1 or 2 drinks a week or even a month, if that. So, usually some cider, mainly Kopparberg, the Swedish cider. It's pretty like sweet, it's pretty tangy, you know. It goes down with meals as well as like just nights out, so it's not too bad. And if I really just want to just end the night there and then, what was it? Jägermeister. Oh no, sorry,
Nice.
Jaeger bombs.
Oh, man, my man.
bombs.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
If you really just want to end the night just there and there and say, screw it, I want to wake up tomorrow morning like right now, then Jaeger bombs and that's it. You'll just wake up like 2 days later. Simple.
All right, Brett, get in here. Favorite drinks.
Red Bull.
For everything?
It's your favorite alcohol
I was
too.
gonna say Red Bull and vodka. There.
No, I can't drink liquor anymore. Otherwise, I'd say any kind of Irish whiskey. But Red Bull, I'd love me a tall glass of milk, and a root beer float. That would pretty much cover all my bases right there.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. I like those food questions. They're fun. Ooh.
Also on that note, if anybody has ever tried the root beer milk that comes in the glass bottle, it's fucking delicious.
Okay. Root beer is weird. Has this weird aftertaste, but I like drinking it, but the aftertaste is weird to me.
You're weird.
Okay, all right, Brett, this is a question for me and you specifically, because I don't think anybody else here watches Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no.
What are your thoughts on the fact that Game of Thrones Season 5 will be spoiling things that have not yet occurred in the books, and what are you doing to prepare for the season premiere on April 12th? I guess that one's actually more to me in that one, but Brett, you go first.
Nothing actually. Like I kind of find it funny that people are getting up in arms like the show's gonna spoil the books. It's like, well, yeah, I mean the books have been spoiler to the show. If you don't have to watch the show, nobody's twisting your arm.
They obviously are.
Yes,
yeah, clearly. It's like, well, maybe take the time to read the books or something. I don't know. Like, the tables have turned, and now you're getting all pissy about it. That's just either don't watch the show and read the books, or watch it on the show and then read the books. I don't understand why it's a big deal, and I don't understand why it's being even labeled as spoiling. It's one of the two official avenues that the show has put out, or the story or the author has put out. So you can't really spoil your own thing, can you?
Yeah, I mean, here's my take on that. And I think because I saw the show first, then I read the books. I'm like, okay, whatever. Here's the thing, and I'm sorry, people, if I'm going to offend you right now. George R. Martin's not going to finish these books. He's going to fucking die. The guy's old and fat. He's going to die. He's finishing it. I'm going to get to see the ending in show form. Perfectly fine. I only care about seeing what unfolds, even if it's different than was originally envisioned. So I have absolutely no problems with that. As what I'm doing to prepare for it, nothing. I'm just gonna watch it. That's it. I don't go through all these big like elaborate things. Like I'm gonna throw a party for Game of Thrones.
Well, you do have portions where you have to mentally prepare for things.
Yeah, but I got rid of that stuff. We don't need to do that anymore. I'll be doing fucking Throwdown Your Questions when the show's on. So whatever, that's a side thing. But I mean, I do have concerns over the next season because I know what's going to happen in the books, but I can't spoil anything. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it. But I don't care. I'm glad they're going to spoil shit because I'm not going to read the books anytime soon. No one is. Fuck it, bring me the shit.
And you read some of the books.
I read all of them, but the thing is, the upcoming books are not going to be released anytime soon. So I'm like, give me the spoilers. I don't care.
Here's what I'm looking forward to. I want George R. Martin to pull a shocking twist like the likes of The Red Wedding that the fucking book readers can't be all smug about because they know it ahead of time. I want him to pull the carpet out or the rug out from under everybody, and I'm hoping that they'll use this opportunity to really, really just fuck with people.
We'll find out Game of Thrones happens in the future.
Yes.
Well, there's a whole subsect of people who've been watching the series who have known up until now everything that's going to happen. They're not really having the same experience that us watching the show have. And granted, we haven't had the experience of reading the book for the first time and gaining all our knowledge that way, but it'll be interesting to see where we go from here.
By the way, going back to what you were asking before about where all this come from, you know where it comes from, dude. They're like, hey, look at me. I read the books first. I'm better than you. Now they're taking that away from them, and they don't like it. That's what it is.
And then they're bringing their comic books to the movie theaters, like the movie theaters can sign them.
Yeah, right. I read the books first. They lost that because the smugness. Fucking assholes.
Because if you shake the book at the screen, it makes a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, by the way, guys, that's a bit of an in joke between Tony and Chris. We had this buddy of ours who when the Watchmen movie came out, he literally pulled out the book in the line. He's like, "This is where it all comes from." And I'm like, dude, why do you have the book with you? What do you want? The movie to sign your comic? And he puts it away. Like,
To the way all sadly.
It's like, dude, come on. What are you gonna compare notes? You're gonna look at you and have a little light, and you're gonna look at the book while you're watching the film, comparing it. Come on, dude. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I think
Oh,
Manny
man.
froze.
Yeah, I froze too.
Oh, you
It was me. So yeah, I think I'm in a good position when it comes to Game of Thrones, because I'm both a watcher of the show and a book reader, so I get the best of both worlds. I don't have to be smug. I don't care. Give me the story. I don't care how. I don't care if it's a book. I don't care if it's a show. Give me the story. I just finish it. I don't care. All right, Brett, are you doing anything special to prepare? I know you guys have like Feast of Thrones or something.
Oh yeah, we have Feast of Thrones. Yeah, we
What's
were just
that?
talking today. Feast of Thrones is when we basically turn on all the lights, light a bajillion candles, and cook some large, meaty adventure type kind of food. Sometimes it's steak, sometimes it's big turkey drumsticks, sometimes it's meats and breads and cheeses and whatnot. But we always lay out a big fucking platter and then watch the show by candlelight.
So
Nice.
essentially, you create your medieval times experience in your own home.
Exactly.
Does Rachel or anybody slap somebody's hand if they start eating with a fork?
No, but we try and keep it to like hand like either finger foods or foods that you have to eat with big knives, or sometimes we'll we've even made like fondue or stuff, like throw a big crock pot full of cheese and then tear up breads and meats and shit, and you dive in. We like to be a little immersive about it, so it's nice. It really is.
Fucking
And
awesome.
It makes it into like a little weekly celebration, which I'm not sure about some of you guys. Like I like binge watching a season of something as much as the next person, but there is something special for the anticipation and celebration that comes from waiting on a weekly show.
Hell yeah, man. I love that shit. It's just like Manny, we were talking about this before. With Dragon Ball Z Kai, I could binge watch the whole thing, but I like anticipating it every week. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you something to look forward to, and it turns into a whole evening thing with us. Like we end up grilling or preparing food together, hanging out for a couple hours ahead of time, and then we get to sit down, light all the candles, and watch the big thing, and then we clean up and talk about what we saw. It's God, I sound like an old white person, but it's a shitload of
What
fun.
is that? That sounds like a social experience.
Yeah.
Social experience.
So yeah, we'll invite friends over and dazzle them with just like crazy, insane food, like 3-inch steaks or cheddar beer fondue. Like we always kind of go all out to, make it something better than normal.
Awesome. All right, I'm moving on to my man. Again, I can't say your name right. GZDR4Ev All Games. What video game weapon? This is a good one. What video game weapon would you like to see made in real life?
Here's a fun thing. Sorry to interrupt. There actually is a show called Man at Arms on YouTube where they actually create real like swords and weaponry from video games and and movies and things. So it's like, what does the gunblade look like? And they actually make the gunblade, or some other game weapon.
Should I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
By the way, that was my answer.
The gunblade.
Make the gunblade for Final Fantasy VIII. That'd be fucking great. It's like
Which
it's a
they
gun
did
and
make
a
it.
sword.
They did make the gunblade. They also made the hero sword.
Wait. I have a better one. They said the guy said weapon, right? And the
Yes.
weapon could be anything. Somebody make Metal Gear Rex. What's up? All right, I gave my answers. Manny, what about you?
Weapon. Jeez. That crazy arc gun from The Order.
Yes.
That throws lightning. Yeah, how about that?
Thing that blows up people's heads.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. All right, Chris, what about you?
Shit, there's so many. I was thinking the main rifle from Gears of War, the one with the chainsaw on it.
Yeah.
So your main rifle has got the chainsaw. But then I was like, there's so many things. There's swords and stuff, but you know what? There's too much to think about. It's making my head hurt because so many I could go into the Souls games, and there's so many cool swords, like the Moonlight Sword, which goes through shields, and there's you could get the Master Sword, or I don't know. Fuck it, the rifle from Gears of War. I want to see that in real life.
All right, Brian.
My first answer was the thermite gun from The Order, because if you know what thermite is, you know that is some pretty strong shit.
Yes.
put it this way, it eats through metal like water does through paper. You know, it just goes straight through. It just doesn't give a fuck. It's incredible. Thermite is something that's incredible in general. So a gun that shoots that is brilliant. But I'd have to default with the glaive from Dark Sector, which I'm guessing by the sounds of it, none of you have played.
Oh, I know what the glaive. I played it.
I know what it is, but I never.
Terrible game.
For those who don't, just think of a boomerang with knives. And that's pretty much it.
Didn't they have that in Krull?
That's true.
Yeah, that might be what it's inspired by.
Maybe so, but it's a boomerang with knives, and it's just the most deadly thing I can think of. And also, so it comes back as well and does damage on the way back. And it's even a weapon in Warframe as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the glaive or the thermite gun, because they're just weapons of destruction.
Yeah, the fun thing about the thermite gun in the Order is during some parts it's like, hey, we need to like melt this metal shit. Just take the thermite clip out and melt the metal with it. That's how powerful it is.
Oh, that's hilarious! I just looked up Krull, and that's exactly what the thing is called. It's called the glaive. So that's where they got it from.
Awesome. All right, Brett, what about you?
I would honestly have to say, and not just because I'm playing it right now, but the trick weapons from Bloodborne are the coolest fucking things ever. And I told Chris this. I think it was Chris. Like I was like, oh my god. Nice. There's a fucking rifle spear in this game. At this point, I'll say what I said. I want you to sit down and think about a rifle spear and how fucking awesome a rifle spear could be. And then I want you to take all of that and throw it the fuck away because this thing is 10 times fucking cooler than that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It has saved my ass in the game. Like, I've pulled that shit out, and it has saved me a bunch of times.
It's just so cool. It looks like a 2-foot-long blade, like a 3-foot-long blade with like a 2-foot-long handle that's got like a weird hand apparatus and a trigger. That's a fucking spear, and then he just kind of cocks it, and the whole blade detaches and swings down from the front end and exposes like this big old school like cast iron blunderbuss. So you can run up and just start slashing people and then just shotgun them right in the face. I want that game. I want that weapon in every video game I play.
Well, the best thing is when you run out of stamina. You know, when you take your swings and you're like, shit, this guy's not dead. Just pull that trigger, man. You get that last shot off.
Nice. Yeah, I like how we all went with like kind of realistic weapons because I just thought of this one randomly. Even though you can't make this, the fucking Soul Edge, you can't make that weapon. You know, this huge eye on it.
No, Tony, that's evil, man. The Soul Edge is evil.
Yeah, and nobody said the obvious answer. Oh, I want the Buster Sword because Cloud. It's like no one could swing that shit. Come on now. Too fucking big.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on. This is a fun question. What sport would you like to see made into a video game not represented on current gen examples? Dodgeball, handball. Very interesting question. I need to think about this one. So somebody jump in.
Well, there has been a handball game, but it's very old. A sport game that's not represented. I don't know. I don't really care for any sports.
I know that's what I'm having a problem with it.
Sorry, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I really don't want to see. To be honest, as much as there hasn't been very many handball games. I really don't care to see a handball game.
Yeah, so it'd just be boring.
I find watching normal handball boring, or racquetball, badminton, you don't want to play those. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't know. I don't have an answer because I'm like I kind of don't care. I don't know. They have volleyball, right? Like video games.
Yeah, they've had volleyball.
But on a current gen, I guess.
No, not a current gen. But then there's usually situations that cause these games to come out.
Oh wait, Dead or Alive probably has volleyball. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a current gen volleyball game, or
possibly. There's just fucking tips everywhere. I don't know. Anyway, Chris, what about you?
Shit, it's a tough one. I don't know. I haven't seen a cricket game on current gen. Can we get that?
I'm sure there's. I mean,
how about curling?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with. I was gonna say lacrosse. Go for that. There you go. I don't even know what lacrosse is.
Brian, isn't there some of those games already out in England?
I don't know. I'm just that
What,
one.
like, is there like, in other words, is there a rugby game? There's got to be a
Oh,
rugby
must
game
be.
over there.
I know there's like a popular cricket franchise. Like you know how there's like Tiger Woods. There's like I think like Brian Lara or something like that. I can't
Oh,
remember.
why don't we get that? I would
Because
explore-
nobody cares about cricket over
it
here.
would just be me because I would just like to see how it is.
Just don't, Chris. Just
No,
don't.
just stay away. Okay.
The sport is so fucking dull to watch.
No, curling is dull.
Oh.
That's why.
No, cricket is dull. No, darts is dull.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, but darts.
And they made a game with that in it, so
Where the highlight of curling is sweeping the ice so that a weight can travel from one end to the other and knock some other weights.
Here's the thing about curling. Like, I liked it better when I didn't know what they were doing, because I'm like, why do they? Because the whole thing is they sweep it to like create friction to slow it down, right? But before I knew this, I was like, why are they cleaning the ice in front of the thing? Why don't they clean it beforehand? Like, I didn't understand.
It's such a weird sport.
Yeah, but me just watching it, trying to figure it out, that was more like engaging to me than actually finding out what it is. When I found out, I'm like, this is boring. I don't care. But yeah, I'm gonna go with lacrosse. I don't even know what lacrosse is, but that's not a video game, so go for it. Do make that.
Every time I hear someone say lacrosse, it just reminds me of GTA San Andreas and the radio talk where like they're interviewing this guy who's complaining about sports, and he's like, "Ooh, lacrosse! Look at me! I carry my bag on a stick."
No, GTA Radio, man.
Oh, brilliant! You know?
Wait, is lacrosse like the sport where you're like in the water with a stick?
No,
that's
that's
water
water polo.
Okay, make that into a video game too. The dumbest sports. All right.
No, lacrosse is like basketball, but like you throw the ball using like a cup stick thing. I don't know what it's called.
That's stupid.
Most sports are relatively dumb anyway. You know?
This is true. Go
I
ahead,
don't know.
Brian.
Do they have a professional boxing game yet on current gen?
Ooh.
Because like last gen,
There's no such thing as boxing ever since
Oh, it's
UFC.
just MMA, man. That's all anyone cares about.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about boxing.
You want to hear something hilarious? I was walking in the, looking for some cereal at the supermarket today, and I looked at, the Wheaties box. The Wheaties box always puts a famous sports person on there, whether it be boxing or anything. I saw a UFC fighter on there.
Yeah, man, it's getting big.
The current UFC champion is on the cover of a Wheaties box.
Nice. Yet we don't have UFC in New York. It's banned.
You want to? Yeah, well, that happened from a long time ago.
Yeah, they're still trying to fight that shit. Brett, what about you? Why do you think I started naming random stupid sports? I don't care.
I'd like to see dodgeball. I always enjoyed dodgeball.
There you go.
Pretty much bring me a Mutant League version of anything, and I'm gonna be really happy with it.
Mutant League Lacrosse.
Yeah, like I don't care if it's Mutant League water polo. Like as long as it's a next gen Mutant League type game, I think it could be a shitload of fun.
Dude, a dodgeball game has to be Japanese, just for like the crazy power ups they would have and stuff like. I
would like to see a Dragon Ball game or a dodgeball game done in the style of Dragon Ball Budokai.
That'd be awesome.
People just fly off the court and you see it twinkling in the sky.
Yeah. And like the ball would get misshapen and stuff. I said flies and stuff.
Yeah. Like you have the cutscene where somebody powers up and they're covered in fire and they spin around. The camera zooms into their eye and then back out. There's like the background's all colors and shooting lines.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Go ahead, Brian.
They did have a game like that on PC. I can't remember what it was called. It's like a dodgeball game that was stupidly crazy. I'll find it.
Yeah, we need that in the Japanese need to make that. That'd be great. All right, moving on. Last question from my man, All Games. This is a fun one. Name a Dreamcast game you'd like to see ported to the Vita. Very good question.
Very interesting. The Vita of all things?
Yes, the Vita.
Dreamcast game, Vita. Jet Grind Radio was already posted. Oh, well.
Oh, well, that already happened.
Yeah, that happened already.
What is another one? I want Shenmue on the Vita. There you go.
I'd like to see that, but then that also, that also deals with a lot of stuff.
You use the touch stuff for the QTEs.
There could be Power Stone.
Power Stone, and going back to boxing, the boxing game on it, you have that.
Oh, was it Knockout Kings? No, not Knockout
No,
Kings.
Ready to Rumble?
Ready to
to
Rumble.
Rumble. Thank you. Okay, that was the goofy one.
Isn't that Midway? Midway's gone now,
Yeah,
right?
Midway's gone, son.
Their NetherRealms. Well, at least
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
part-
Warner
the part
Brothers
that-
owns that shit.
Yeah.
How about
Right,
Sword of the Berserk?
Ooh, there you go.
Could see
Callback.
that.
That was a good Dreamcast game.
Asuka.
I don't
Right.
know about not Seaman though. That game was fucking weird.
Man, that's what Brett wants.
Man.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say Seaman.
You want some
I
Seaman,
want to
Brett?
see. I want to see somebody talking to their seaman on the bus.
You know, in New York, that's probably a common thing.
Oh god.
Seaman on the bus.
Think of how great it could work with all the little devices hooked into the Vita.
Yeah, because you have the voice controls and stuff. You know, the camera.
Yeah, you even have like the touchscreen on the back, so like you could like awkwardly pet your semen, and it could tell you how unpleased with this it is.
Wow.
Damn, you beat me to it, Brett.
Damn. Alright.
This went in a weird direction.
Did Grandia 2 get ported anywhere?
It did. To the
They got
Vita?
ported to a couple
It
of
did.
things, but not
Okay.
Vita.
Grandia.
Probably,
Skies,
PlayStation.
Skies of Arcadia, man.
You know, they've been saying Skies of Arcadia for a while now. But
Yeah,
what
I thought
happened
that
to
I thought that was getting ported.
Man, put that on the Vita.
Yeah, Skies of Arcadia was an excellent RPG.
Hell yeah.
It wasn't just great, it was excellent.
Excellent. It was excellent. Brian, what about you, man?
I never had the Dreamcast.
That's why I
so-
saved you for last.
Yep.
Right, that's a no then. What about Crazy Taxi? Put that on Vita. That'd be cool.
I think that might already been.
Yeah,
ported.
wasn't
Is
that
it on Vita?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Sega game, so I'm pretty sure they ported it to
Yeah.
everything. You can play on PC and I'm sure it's on stores.
And Sonic Adventure 2, I guess.
Wait, what about Space Channel 5? Put that on the Vita.
Ooh, there you go. That's a good one. We can name a
It's
lot
a
of shit.
rhythm game. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the last question from Carlos Romero. This is a fun one. What is the most overrated superhero movie to come out in the last 10 years? Ooh, I need to think about this one.
Yeah. Wow, that's a tough one.
That's very difficult. Overrated. I don't know.
I can tell you some old ones that are overrated.
Yeah, he said within the last 10 years.
10
Old
years,
ones we
that's
could go
tough.
in.
So from 2005 till now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I can't say Thor because that was never overrated.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. I can't answer this. Like, all the ones that are, like, quote-unquote overrated deserved it. You know? Like, all the highly praised ones, like Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. Like, all that, you know, X-Men First Class,
Batman.
Pass. Brett, you jumped in here. Which Batman? All of them?
The last Batman specifically, like
That wasn't overrated, though. That was, people didn't like that one.
No, when it was coming out, the hype train was so fucking real.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was like foaming at the goddamn mouth. And then they're like, oh my God, Bane's gonna be in it. It's gonna be Batman versus Bane. Oh, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Blah blah blah. I've seen little clips and blurbs and this and that and then the fucking we got the movie we all know we got. I was just kind of like, oh wow, that was.
It wasn't the movie we deserved. It was the movie we needed right now. I mean, no, there was bad movies like Superman Returns. That was a.
But that was an overrated. That
Was
was
it?
terrible.
Are we
Yeah.
talking bad or overrated?
Yeah, no, he said
Overrated.
overrated. Like,
Okay.
was X-Men 3 overrated? Like,
No, it was hard. No one
it was
liked that
bad.
movie.
Like, I don't know how to. They were bad movies. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Generally, when a superhero movie's good, at least the audience says it's good, even if it doesn't sell well. Like
Yeah.
there have been movies that sell real well and are terrible, and the movies like Watchmen's a good movie, but it's not really a success sale-wise.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It was-
it's still lauded as a good movie.
Yeah, it definitely did better on home sales. People are like, "Oh, this is great," you know.
So I think when we're speaking overrated, it might be good to determine like, are we talking the hype up to the movie, or the
No, I think-
reputation, or does it not deserve the reputation it's gotten since
I'm
then?
going with that. I think it's the reputation, but I don't think any movies fit that bill. I
don't
can't think of
so
any.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I think they've all been judged pretty fairly in hindsight.
Yeah, all the good ones.
I agree.
You know, yeah. So sorry, Carlos. I do have some in mind, but we can't think of any here. They're all, all the highly praised ones deserve to be highly praised. You know. And that's the show. We ran through all of them pretty quickly, so that's good. All right, so let's wrap it up. Thank you for watching and listening. Make sure to follow the Coalition at thecoalition.com. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Throwdown Show. Links are available in the description below. Once again, I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez. Diamond Dogs. All right, we got Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Brian Majoma.
I'm sadly disappointed in Ground Zeroes.
Really?
Well, you actually bought it? You got it?
No, I got it like a month ago, but I finally got around to playing it now, and it's like, that was kind of... I'm at odds with myself.
All right, we'll speak about that.
You feel like you should have played even less for it, like free.
Oh, wow. All right, and of course, Brett Murdoch.
Pleasure as always, people.
All right, guys, we'll see you on Throwdown, episode 29, later.